fans are fired up for the Division III WIAA State Football Championship here on Valley Sports Wisconsin. It's the Rice Lake Warriors and the Pewaukee Pirates doing battle for Division III State Championship glory. Hello, football fans. Joe Miller alongside Bill Brophy. Day 2 here at the camp. Day 1, a lot of fun, Bro. A little chilly yesterday.
Well, the weather was a factor. The winds were strong. It affected passing games on all teams. Winds are subsided a tad today, but keep an eye on the weather as we go along.
Let's take a look at our Day 1 results here yesterday, Brof, in those 4 games. What stood out from you in that Day 1?
Well, Reedsville won its first ever state title in D7. They didn't throw a pass. Colby dominated the St. Mary's Springs, a perennial powers. The Fesky boys counted for all the points. Jackson Flottmeyer was outstanding, threw for over 250 yards to lead Aquinas. And last night, Catholic Memorial scored 21 points in the first quarter, held on against a gritty team from Ellsworth.
And here you see the roster today. Rice Lake, Pewaukee, D2. That's the bracket, how they got here, Brof. A pair of 11-2 teams meeting in this Division III State Championship final.
Rice Lake beat National runner-up in D3 last year to get here. It's no surprise that a school that produced the Watt brothers, J.J. Derrick and T.J. plays defense. They posted 3 shutouts in the tournament to punch their ticket for the first time ever to Camp Randall.
Yeah, talk about those Watt brothers. Unbelievable that the 3 of them never brought home a state championship. Maybe history in the making here today for the Pewaukee Pirates.
Well, in a school that prides itself on defense, has a linebacker as its quarterback, they run the ball a lot. So does Rice Lake. Should be a good matchup.
It should be a lot of fun. Let's head upstairs to the guys that'll be calling it. Here's Bob Brainerd and Scott Nelson. Morning, boys.
Good morning. Hey, fellas. Scott, you saw the brackets there. These 2 teams, quote unquote, not supposed to be here. You know, a 3 against 5 seed. But sometimes you get to the postseason, and sometimes everything clicks for you.
Well, I think the click starts with your senior leadership and the coaches looking at game plan, breaking down film, giving your kids a great plan to execute. And when they buy into that, great things happen. It's a short turnaround. You face teams that you haven't seen throughout the year. And if your kids produce, which is what this is about, making it flow out, a lot of really good things happen. That's why we see these 2 teams here today.
Going to be some good game flow here and some good defense on display. Boy, these 2 guys bring the hammer on both on the defensive side, Scott.
Yeah, Alex for Rice Lake does a tremendous job. He's their main threat offensively, the #1 receiver. Defensively, he's got 8 interceptions. He's a tremendous guy, breaks on the ball hard. Also involved in the run game. That might be where he makes his biggest impact today. And then for Pewaukee, Max Sheridan, physical player. He's a great leader. He helps make the defense right. What I mean by that, gets them lined up based on formation so they can hit their fits and read their keys to the point of attack, and really fun player to watch.
Yeah, the wind has subsided. It's a sun-splashed morning here at the camp in Madison. It's the Pirates and the Warriors to kick off Day 2 in Division III.
What is this?
The fluff yard, duh. The fluff yard.
Hey, Mom! I want a fluff, yeah.
Give it back!
Hello.
The 2021 WIAA State Football Championships are brought to you by Rural Mutual. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Cobison Buses, now hiring school bus drivers. Family pride in every ride. And by Iron Jock, powered by Silver Iron Technology. It's what's inside. These guys have been frozen statues for a couple minutes now. Everyone anxious to get this D3 tilt underway, and we are underway. Rice Lake won the toss. They elected to defer. They're kicking. Pirates in the black jerseys receive it, and we are underway. Couldn't wait to kick it off, Scott Nelson.
It's fun to see these guys' energy, the crowd energy, right? But this is something new for them, and how do they adjust first to the surroundings at Camp Randall? And then you're on TV, so you have media timeouts you're not used to. Usually the game just continues to play and media works around it. Not here today, so you got to be patient with things. Coaches hopefully have talked to the kids about that. Now it's just a matter of going out and playing some football in between the whistles and have a lot of fun.
And number 34, your eyes do not deceive you. This is not a direct snap to the halfback. This is the Pewaukee quarterback, Carson Hansen, who calls his own number right there. And his story is interesting. Carson Hansen, not even listed as a quarterback to begin the season. The first-string quarterback, as you look at the offensive leaders coming up for the Pirates, Logan Doberstein, a terrific baseball player who's a pitcher going to Kansas State. He had Tommy John surgery, so he was out for playing football. Zane Farr, the backup, was handling the snaps for Pewaukee, broke his collarbone against Catholic Memorial mid-season. So Justin Frisky and company said, all right, where do we go? Where do we turn? Well, Carson Hansen was kind of a hybrid player. They asked him, can you be quarterback in our system? He was all gung-ho, and they were looking for somebody who could handle the chore and wanted, more than anything, Scott, wanted the job, and Carson Hansen has succeeded. He got him here to stay.
Well, and that's part of the beauty of having some guys that are willing to buy into a program and accept their role. And it might not be the spot that he wanted to be, but that's the spot that's going to best help your team, and he took that to heart. Exactly right. Part of that type of attitude from these young guys allowed them to get to state, had them work every single week and play in a good conference. Finished behind Catholic Memorial, who played yesterday. Just a really, really good program. They're well coached. They run some different things, but they're facing a Rice Lake team that's pretty stingy in their own right.
On third down, looking to throw, and the lefty fires it. Nice toss to the 40, and the catch is made for a first down. Reeling it in was Matthew Kuglich. 23-yard pickup. Looked like Jim Zorn in the pocket there, Nelly.
And all the time in the world to find the pass. You don't see too many left-handed quarterbacks, but patient, read the defense, allowed his receivers to get into the open gap. And as you said, Kuglich comes in, steady hands. Again, not a fancy route, just a simple drag across about 15 yards deep. Good for a first down. We don't see a lot of passing out of the Pirates, but that one was pretty dang solid.
The numbers for Hansen coming in, 21 of 44 in 9 games throwing, 4 picks and 3 touchdown tosses. Little end around handoff here, and it goes to Logan Schill. This is a wing T. Head coach, offensive coordinator, he wears both hats. Justin Frisky. This is what they do offensively under his watch in his 10th season.
Well, and they get some misdirection, too. They'll bring some guys from different spots, one wing to the other. They'll run some double handoffs. The offensive linemen are very, very good, smart and aggressive players where if they have to pull, they'll notify or look up and recognize which guy is their guy to block, whether he's on the outside edge, if he's second level up at the linebacker. They know where they need to get to, which is why their run game has been so successful.
Pick up a 9 there, 2nd down and 1. Hansen wants to throw again, scrambles, out of trouble, first down, 40. Tripped up at the 35-yard line, but Hansen, this is what he does. He keeps plays alive, Nelly.
Yeah, fun guy to watch. He's 6'2", 195 pounds. Smart player, and that I think, when I'm Justin Frisky and I'm thinking about what happens with my quarterbacks down, all these things shaking around, I need a guy that's level-headed. I need a guy that understands our offense. I need a guy that's going to compete, because the more that he does that as our leader on the team, guys around him, the other 10 guys around him on the field, respond and react to that. And when you have that confidence level but that calmness about you, guys feel really ready to come to work and get after things, and that's what you see there. Just continuing to sustain drives, receivers on the outside edge continue to work, because no play is done until you're down on the ground.
Hansen giving that mouthpiece a good chew. Here comes Schill again. Check that. That's Max Sheridan. We talked about Max defensively. You'll see him on the other side of the ball. Sheridan lines up in the slot, lines up in the backfield, another running back. You're going to see a lot of different Pirates touching the football today.
I really like watching him as he comes across. He sets this block up really well, dips down underneath, then bellies back, and allows his lineman, number 51, and Aaron Loya, to get out and do a kickout block. But if he doesn't do that little dip down and then bend back around, he doesn't have enough time to get to the outside edge to block, to turn the corner. Just a really heads-up play. Great vision before he put his foot in the ground and went north and south.
How about this start? 8.2 yards per carry. Yards per play, I beg your pardon, so far for Pewaukee. They're getting good chunks here as Hansen, again, wanted to throw. Pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. That's where he needed to be for the first down. Should be able to move the chains here. Great drive here by the Pirates to kickstart their first ever trip to state.
Yeah, just steady again, under control and poised, reading things, understood that his receiver on the outside edge and Schrader was covered, tucks the ball. He's a threat with his legs. It's really hard on the defense when you have a quarterback that's able to be patient in the pocket because of great protection. Things are covered, and he uses his legs to beat you. That's really hard to cover in high school, hard to cover in college, quite honestly, but at this level, extremely difficult.
Under center here, and the handoff goes, and big running room off the left side. Pounding his way for another first down. That's Shishelshick, the big fullback.
You look at Shishelshick, you say big, he's 5'8", 175 pounds, but he's a load to bring down. Keeps those thighs burning and churning. Really fun to watch. One thing that on camera when you watch this game, check to see if offensive line is shifting. Are they unbalanced one way or another? Does that lead you to inside, or do they stay balanced? It really stresses the defense to try and recognize things when they bring a tackle over, have an unbalanced line, then you go back the other way. You really have to train and trust your eyes with what you see in front of you.
This is Schill to the 8-yard line. I beg your pardon. Nick Detloff. I told you everyone was going to get touches. You've got Sheridan at running back. Carson Pearson's going to get carries. Hansen certainly. Detloff the carry there. You've seen Shishelshick. Kyle Caskey is another fullback. I mean, none of these guys have great numbers, Nelly, but that's by design.
Yeah, and it starts with Hansen, right, being unassuming, being willing and able to take the quarterback range, but it's by committee right now, and the success that you can't key on one kid right now, one player, and that's the beauty of this offense too. There's misdirection, guards pull, people attack different ways. You really have to trust what you see. What I'm looking forward here now is we get to about a 3rd and 3 situation for Pewaukee. You've had a really nice drive going here in the first quarter. Can you finish? You've taken almost half this quarter to drive the length of the field. Can you finish? And more importantly, on the Rice Lake side, are you able to find a way to stop and force them into a field goal situation?
Indeed, Nelly. 3rd and 3 here for the Pirates. Shishelshick on that last carry. Now who gets the rock here? Try to get the first down and make it 1st and goal for Pewaukee on this opening drive at State. Hansen, second man, cut back. Not a touchdown, but there's your first down as Detloff gets the carry. The wing tee and the misdirection, and again, not just one guy you can key on for Rice Lake, Nelly. It's assignment football. You got to be assignment sound.
Well, and really good job that time. Hansen takes the ball and starts to move to his right, starts to draw the linebackers, the defensive line. They come back with a handoff, basically a reverse with a lead blocker pulling outside. Guys were over shifted as he dives across the goal line. Should be a touchdown signal here.
It is.
Will continue.
Touchdown Pitts. Pirates.
Prior to each kickoff.
Well, you're thinking Pittsburgh with the Watt brothers.
I was, yeah.
All right.
We'll get to them later. No doubt those guys are dialed in for their alma mater. But how about this, Nelly? 12 plays, 78 yards, over 6.5 minutes churned off the first quarter clock, and only 2 third downs. They made it look easy because of those big chunk plays on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah, and when you can do that, yesterday we had a number of games, penalties, where you're playing behind the sticks. They're going for 2.
Yeah. Schill got to get in, and he does. Not sure if that was by design, but hey, Logan Schill picks it up, carries it in, number 2 for 2, and it's 8-0 Pewaukee. Great start for the Pirates here at State. And there's Justin Frisky. That's how we draw it up. That's how we X&O, you guys. That's how we execute it here at Camp Randall. Rice Lake will get the football when we return. Number 34 on your scorecard. That's your QB. That's your guy going into the end zone for 6, and then 2 for 2 more.
I reconnect guests to their inner child. I am a Verbo host.
Good luck to you. Have a great.
There's Justin Frisky, 10 years as the head coach at Pewaukee. And he also runs this offense, and you saw how efficient this offense could be. No jitters, no nerves. 5 different rushers handled the football. 11 different carries. And Al Minert, Hall of Fame coach, former head coach at Mass and Edgewood, he's watching and diagnosing all this. Al, what did you see in that opening drive? It was impressive.
It was super impressive. Wing T clinic, you know, they used this one, I think, is one of the unbalanced lines, a little jet motion. And just a great cross block. You saw the wing come down. And one of the most difficult things to defend in the wing T is how are you going to defend the edges? And by using the unbalanced line, you take one defender out of the mix in the run fit. And you make them either overcommit. Now, there will be some plays coming back the opposite way. But this was a clinic of getting extra people at the point of attack with the motion and the deception that they use as well. So, you know, the deception of the wing T serves as an extra blocker because they are running the jet sweeps. They fake the jet and run the fullback in behind. Like I said, it was a clinic on the first series. It'll be interesting to see how Rice Lake adjusts to it, because if you do not play wing T teams, this is a whole new lesson.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Coach. Thank you, Al. Good kick. In and out of the end zone by Detloff. And now we'll get to see the Rice Lake Warriors in offense and the flex bone. Triple option looks. The whole staff, years ago, Dan Hill and company, they went out to the Air Force Academy to learn what this flex bone, Nelly, was all about.
Yeah, and obviously a program that's run that extremely well over the years at Air Force. And when you're able to learn from college coaches, you have to dumb some things down for your high school kids, because there's a lot of technique based on position and where the defense is with you. This has to be a little bit more simple. But obviously these kids have bought into it. The coaches have realized the type of athletes they have, and they teach it. And when you have some smart players that can execute, good things happen.
Cole Fenske's the quarterback. He runs this offense. When I asked Dan Hill about him, he said he's a playmaker. And that was all he said. But that's all that needs to be said. Number 7, he's the quote-unquote straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah, and those are the things when you have leaders that are able to produce and play in multiple spots, understand what they're looking at defensively, can adjust things, can maybe make an audible, get your offensive line in correct position for blocking in the count with their number 1 guy. Those are great things to have as stability at your quarterback position.
Toss it to Carson Tomesh, and Tomesh, running back who lined up in the slot, hard-nosed runner, one of many Tomesh football players to come through this system and play for head coach Dan Hill.
26-yard line. 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 4 for the Warriors.
Really good start here for the Pirates offensively, obviously with the first drive and score. They're set up in a third medium situation. This is a matter of getting some pressure, being gap sound defensively, allowing your linebackers to flow, but you cannot get double teamed and pushed out of the way. Gaps open up really quick in this type of offense.
Fenske keeps it into the secondary. Fenske 45-50 and dragged down at the 46-yard line. Cole Fenske made everyone bite up front, and that was the key.
Yeah, case in point, right again, being gap sound, shooting the gap what you're responsible for. The linemen were on the inside. The linebacker got reached off the top right side of your screen here, gets reached on the edge, and then it's just making one guy miss. Running backs are taught, quarterbacks are taught, we can block everybody with the exception of one person. You're responsible for one dude, and you got to make a miss. He broke the tackle, off to the races for a nice first down game, but off the left edge, off the left tackle was a huge gaping hole because of the kick-out block and the down blocks from the 2 guys outside.
Like Dan Hill said, playmaker. 28 yards on the pickup there. Second man through. This is Elliot Nolan on the carry. Now, Elliot Nolan, take a look, playing with a club on his hand. He broke his hand mid-season, and they can't get this kid off the field. In fact, you'll see him on defense, Nelly, in the level 4 game. He intercepted a pass, so
he's learning how to use that, right?
Oh, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, that play in particular for the Pirates, Ryan Borkman held his ground, backside edge. That's what you have to do on misdirection with things. You have to play on the backside, slow play it, come down the line, makes a great tackle. But it'd be interesting to see if that club hand comes into effect today.
Fenske's got it. Again, off that left side. He fakes jamming it into the belly of Easton Stone. And you see Stone, he's kind of got that crab claw stance in the backfield.
A lot of times, you know, young players in high school, and even though they're seniors, they're still young players, right? You have to trust your eyes, and we talk about this at different times at many levels. Read slow, so you're able to see where the guards are going, what's happening in the backfield, and react fast. Pewaukee just needs to react a little bit faster, and I mean downhill. They're going too flat right now. They need to close ground to the quarterback or running back.
There is Stone, and Stone breaks free. Still on his feet. Pirates engulf him, and finally the whistles blow down to the 10-yard line. So we just talked about Stone, how he's been the fake, the decoy, if you will, in the backfield. Now he gets the rock, carries it 26 yards.
You do your job well enough times, and you're going to get rewarded for that. So, again, if you're the decoy, so be it. But at some point, when you give him the rock that way, what a great opportunity for him. And, boy, was that an incredible run down the stretch. Really good job offensively by the Warriors.
Timeout on the football field. Pewaukee cobbles together an awesome opening drive. And now Rice Lake, hopeful to have the answer.
So much of wildlife photography is being uncomfortable. But those 3 seconds where that animal makes eye contact with you and your gear is ready to go, it's so energizing that those other 9 hours of exhaustion, they're gone.
Pewaukee Pirates burned a timeout there. Justin Frisky talking to his defense. A defense, we talked about it in the open, it has been super stingy all season, but especially in the postseason. Levels 1, 2, and 3, they pitch shutouts, did Pewaukee. And against Monroe, gave up just 14 points to get their ticket punch here to state for the first time in school history. Whole new animal to deal with here with Rice Lake and the flex bone here. First and goal from the 10. And the give again to Stone, and this time Stone is stoned. Gain of a couple. Max Sheridan right there for the initial stop with help. Sheridan, the leader of this defensive team, along with Detlef and Carson Hansen, double duty as well, not just on the quarterback side.
Very balanced when you take a look at the outside linebackers, inside linebackers, and even with Schrader getting in the mix of defensive back. Flow downhill really, really well. They're aggressive, and so you rack up some tackles very similar because you're getting assisted tackles. They pursue to the football really well, and today they're going to have to do that all day long.
Fenske's got it. He tries the right side. Stood up there at the line of scrimmage. So Pewaukee, good timeout so far, Nelly, because they made some adjustments here when they got close to the goal line.
I think they packed in the middle a little bit more. This is really assignment-type defense when you're facing an option attack. Coach Minner, I'm sure, will talk about this, and he's done it himself as a coach. You have to play responsibility defense. Some guys on the pitch, one guy's on the quarterback, one guy's on the dive. Your quarterback has to be a smart heads-up player. He's either going to give the ball, he's going to keep it, or he's going to pitch it. And he has to decide all within a half a second. That particular play pulled it, was basically like a quarterback dive lead. We'll see what they can finish with here.
Pewaukee defense rises up. Black shirts, including Max Sheridan, all over Carson Tomesh. Brings up 4th down.
Number 8, Nick Detloff, right in the middle, reads it, gets off the block, packs a punch, and then his buddies come and help him out. That's, again, pursuit-type defense. Guys are aggressive to the football, but a tremendous job of shutting his blocker, getting into the backfield. Great read, great execution on the tackle, and just swarming defense by Pewaukee.
Field goal try? No. They haven't tried one all season long. They'll go for it here on 4th and goal at the 6. Fenske to throw. Fires. Incomplete. Tegan Shore was the intended receiver. Overshot him. And Pewaukee takes over on downs. They stop.
Looking on a slant route really quick. Fenske reads it as Tegan Shower takes it and bellies back to the outside edge. Really good route to separate himself. And that's just one where you got to float it to the corner of the end zone, let your receiver run to it. He tried to place it instead of just throwing the football. That's one that he's going to certainly want back. But I like the play call. A quick slant, it's covered, quarterback rolls out. It's just a matter of now the timing and execution on the throw.
Here's the drive. It was impressive until they stalled here inside the 10. 10 plays, 80 yards, over 5 minutes chewed up. Fenske had 44 yards, Stone at 28, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. So Pewaukee has it 1st and 10 at the 6-yard line.
And field position really is what comes into play to here now for the Warriors. Can they hold them deep in their territory?
Navigating left side, ball's loose. Officials right there, unpiling and signaling. Rice Lake football. You talked about field position, Nelly. Rice Lake back with it, a chance to score again.
Well, opportunistic. There's a Pearson on the carry with that. I'm not sure how he lost the football. If somebody was able to get their hand in there or grab his elbow, and as he pulled away, it just popped out. But opportunistic defense, and again, pursuit by the Warriors, much like we saw with the Pirates' pursuit. Here we go. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys compete and play.
That play, this play, ends the first quarter of football. Stripped, fumbled, recovered by the Warriors. They have it back to start quarter number 2.
Please.
Dan Hill at Rice Lake, 16th season. Retired, Nelly, retired engineer manager at the Genio Turkey store up in Rice Lake. If he was still on the payroll, this would be an incredibly busy time for him. But not, he can just focus on football.
Yeah, just the way I'm sure a lot of coaches like it. Yeah, let me do this on my own and leave the other stuff to other people.
Yeah, cranberry sauce, just go get that. His football team has the football back here after the turnover. Elliot Nolan, you saw him going to break on that strip. And a gain of 6 here gets them closer to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, opportunistic, right? A defense in Pewaukee that showed up and bowed up and prevented a touchdown the last drive for the Warriors. And the Warriors come back with a quick turnover and fumble. Nolan, opportunistic play, and guys, again, pursuit that you'll see out of both these squads. Very aggressive defensively.
It's Stone trying to bounce and nothing doing. Good tackle going low there by Carson Tomesh, or I beg your pardon, Nick Detloff. And it brings up 3rd down and 5.
Again, a lot of responsibility on your quarterback to read certain things. This was a design play all the way for Stone. Just a simple handoff and dive straight up the middle. Great job by Pewaukee to shed blocks. He looked right. All he saw was black shirts, nowhere to go, went down. Big time play. We'll see if Pewaukee can come up with another stop again.
Little toss, catch and go. That's going to be enough for the 1st down. Nothing fancy, but efficient. There's Alex Belangi, 6'3", 190. Every opponent is just in awe of this kid, and especially on the defensive side. But this is a quiet weapon. You can't sleep on number 11.
Well, yeah, he's spread out, right, outside the numbers. Just sitting out there by himself, one-on-one coverage because of the type of offense they run. Everybody thinks run in the middle, run in the middle. Next thing the quarterback does, pops up, and Fenske delivers it out to Belangi. And it was 3 yards. Good enough for a 1st down. Sets up 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Nice quick play and gives them an opportunity to keep the drive alive.
From the 4. Fenske has it, and he's in for the touchdown. Boy, that wasn't pretty. He kind of like bounced off his own guys, some Pewaukee Pirates, but he found a way to get in from the 4.
This is one of those plays where you have to be strong with your hands as a quarterback. He's looking to hand off to number 42, Easton Stone. At the same time he's reading it, seeing things bottled up on the right-hand side. Tries to pull it out. As he's pulling out, he loses a grip, because at the same time your running back's trying to grab the football from you. Heads-up play to secure that and then get back to the left-hand side and punch it in for 6.
Now it's like bumper cars for Cole, but he found the end zone. Now looking for the equalizer Pitch it. Nolan, he'll walk in, and we're tied at 8. But a penalty flag holds the phone at the line of scrimmage. Our officials, Richard Hole is the referee from Stratford, Wisconsin. And a chop block on Rice Lake.
Yeah, as an offensive lineman, you're trying to gain whatever advantage you can, and you're taught to stay low to try and drive. Obviously, a couple of guys got low on that particular play, and again, player safety from that standpoint, probably the right call as you watch guys dive out underneath.
15 minutes.
There you go on the other side, the right side, right guard dives in below that way. That's something that you got to be real careful. If you have your head up and you drive through his waist, it's fine. When you drive down through the knees and the ankles, that's different.
Well, now you're trying this from the 14, so watch Belangi at the top of your screen, number 11.
Great day.
Fensky going there. Belangi in and out of the hands, broken up. How about it, Logan Schill? So with that deflection, that means Pewaukee stays in front on the scoreboard. 8-6, Pewaukee leads it here in quarter number 2 in Division III.
At time, you will.
Cole Fensky gets the job done.
Check in the
after the turnover. Rice Lake Warriors this time put it in the end zone for 6, and they settle for 6, trailing by 2 now here in quarter number 2. 4 plays, it was quick. 14 yards to get it in. Total yards for Rice Lake now 88 to 86 for Pewaukee, so pretty even Steven here.
Well, we went back and forth a little bit with Pewaukee calling a timeout, being able to stop the Warriors on their last drive towards the tail end of the first quarter. Opportunistic defense by Rice Lake, get great field position and a fumble, and they were able to answer. And here we sit 8-6.
Josh Bunyer plays it off the bounce on the hop. Want to bring in Coach Minner. Al, can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
So flex bone. We mentioned that Dan Hill and his group, they went out to the Air Force Academy because that's where they run it the best. Why is it so unique and so good?
Well, you know, the thing is you are playing an offense that most people are like, we can't teach this because you only have 5 practices in the summer, and to run true option is very difficult unless you have a great decision maker, which obviously Rice Lake always thinks they can find. And so it makes them very unique, and therefore, if again, like Pewaukee probably hasn't seen many true option teams, and so it again, just like if you don't see wing T, you have issues with that.
Thank you, Coach. Marker down as Detloff gets the carry here.
And just to expand on that a little bit, they're going to run inside veer, usually some midline, outside veer. So it depends on what kind of shades they're seeing defensively. They'll run some predetermined pitch plays as well. So the extra point that did not make it,
until about 2 hours and 15 minutes prior.
The extra point that didn't make it was a pitch. Was the first time they really pitched it.
Listen to Coach talk a little bit there about, and you mentioning Air Force. The head coach out at Air Force is Troy Calhoun. Now I'm dating myself a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
I watched him play in that bone out at the Air Force. One of the best quarterbacks running that I've ever seen, and they played Notre Dame, they played the other service academies. Just a really, really solid player. Not a bad guy to go pick the brain of if this is the type of offense you want to run.
Oh, yeah. You saw the face mask penalty go against Pewaukee. So deep in the hole, Carson Hansen will try to dig him out of it. Hansen running lane, Left side, Hansen gets the first down. Tough dude to bring down. Ball pops loose, but it's OB all the way out to midfield. Carson Hansen.
Really like the design of this play. It's designed for him the entire way. You have a couple offensive linemen. You have maybe like another running back, tight end type player. 3 lead blockers as he gets to the outside edge. Pick a hole, young man. Really good job of clearing the way. I really like the way he uses the stiff arm. The only thing you got to be prepared for then, right, is finishing the run. Warriors are coming in, trying to knock that ball out here. They get another fumble here at the end of the run. Luckily for the Pirates, this time it sails out of bounds. But we're seeing a lot of really good stuff here. Guys getting up to the second level and engaging on blocks for positive yards.
Hansen again after the 33-yard run picks up 4 on this carry. It's amazing to think that when they had their other 2 quarterbacks that they thought were going to run this Pewaukee offense, Justin Frisky was like, we got to find a place for Carson Hansen. They didn't know what to do with him, where to put him to make him the most effective. Well, he's found a home, Nelly.
Yeah, he has, and I think case in point with Frisky, he's done a great job of putting a lot of those players in position for success and then game planning around those kids, and that's the important piece. Like every single year changes. You don't want to stray too far from what your plan is. Yet every single year, somebody will jump in. Maybe you have a better receiver, maybe a better throwing quarterback. You have to adjust and morph into those things. In this case, it was plug and play. Let him get in there. He's a solid kid, big kid, can run, is smart with what he sees defensively. And now we're giving you an opportunity to produce on the field. And those are the things that you like to see. I do like the response that the Warriors had after that long run. 2 plays. It's 3rd and 4, 3rd and medium right now. We don't see a lot of passing from either of these 2 this way, but there's some great blocking, getting to chip blocks together, combo blocks, working up to the second level. We've seen success for Pewaukee in the outside edge. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and hit that again here for a first down.
3rd and 4 here. By the way, Carson Hansen is also a terrific baseball player. He's going to UW-Milwaukee to play for the Panthers on the ball diamond, but trying to win himself a state championship in football here this morning. 3rd and 4 on the give. Running room, left side, first down and more. And again, right, what do you know, Nelly? Kyle Kaska, the fullback, gets the carry there.
Really like that. He's the lone soldier off the left-hand side of the offense there. Guy just walling down. He just tucks in behind him. Linebackers flow to the left because of the jet sweep. He comes straight up the middle, over pursuit. Pick a hole and go. Enough for the first down. Really well-designed play.
Kasky just secured that football. Navigated his way through the opening. Offensive line has been very good here. Now running around to the left side. More running room over there. Pewaukee getting lathered up with their offense here. Ryan Borkman gets the carry there. Just throw another new name into the mix.
Well, and again, it's by committee. A great job on the quick jet sweep. He's got 2 or 3 linemen that pull from the guard tackles position. Your tight end seals down on the edge, and it's just a freight train coming down the track. And it's a lot of fun when you have a running back that's able to set up blocks for your offensive lineman. Is patient enough to let them get to the guy that they need to block, and then as soon as they engage, he goes. In that quick change of speed that you saw there at the tail end, shot through the gap. Big play for Pewaukee.
From the 15, 1st and 10. This time, Rice Lake is there. They bury Shishelshick at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that time they didn't get fooled with that jet sweep, quick sweep action. Held their ground, shed blocks, and the play came right to him. With the misdirection, and we have this on both sides as offense with the Warriors and Pirates both. A lot of things happening in front of you. Defensive line, you really have to try and simplify things. We're going slant strong. We're going in. Whatever the case, you have to hold your gap. And if you can hold your gap, it allows the guys at the second level to produce. Sometimes you get lucky. Maybe they release you and go up to the second level, and then you're there. But you got to find ways to make plays. But it's about being gap sound and doing responsibility football.
Marker comes in on Borkman. His carry. Nelly, 8 different Pirates have carried the football here in the first half.
Well, you're keeping people fresh, I guess.
I'll say.
Flags on the play.
had a chance to meet Justin Frisky earlier in the year. Really good guy. Really is passionate about what he does. Loves being around the kids and coaching. And when you have high school coaches that are like that, that have some success and your kids buy into your plan and you have their ear, and they have your ear. You're willing to listen to them. Those are really good, solid teams and things that when players make mistakes, they know you're getting into them because you love them. And when good things happen, you're going to be there. When bad things happen, sometimes it's the arm around the shoulder that says, hey, we got you. It's going to be fine. Just those comforting words. But it's a mutual play, and I think he does it extremely well with the Pewaukee football team.
Penalty makes this 2nd down and 21. Second man gets it. That's Sheridan. And Sheridan tripped up, making life miserable right now. Easton Stone gets in there in a hurry.
Belangian on the play too, and that's, again, you have a couple guys that are, one is a senior, I think Stone is a sophomore, right? Just a heads-up play defensively. Reads things, sheds the block, and both that guys are there to make a play. That's pursuit from your safety position. It's reading and attacking downhill. It's shutting a block and having good position on the outside edge as opposed to getting hooked and reached. That's just good football for those guys, and sometimes you don't teach those things. Sometimes those are just innate in a player. They just have good, smart football sense, and that's a great play to showcase those two right there.
Be careful, Pewaukee, and Frisky's going to call a timeout here. And I think for the same reason. Be careful if you go airborne here with Belangi. He's got 8 picks. He's always lurking in the secondary. Timeout here to talk about it. 5 minutes and change before halftime. It's 8-6, Pewaukee in front. Back here at Camp Randall in Madison, Pewaukee leading by a pair with the football, but penalties have pushed them back. Christian Lindau, lost him for Rice Lake for the season. He was their leading tackler, heart of this defense, and certainly missed. They've got other bodies on that unit, but he has been a missing piece on this drive to state. There's the pass. It would have been well short of the first down. Schill in and out of his hands. It brings up 4th down. But without Lindau, Cole Fensky, they've at times shifted him into his linebacker spot, just trying to get another good athlete over there.
Yeah, and find plays or ways to make your playmakers involved in the game, and you got to move guys around, and again, they need to buy into that. They have. Obviously, they're playing for a state championship, loving playing football right now, and it's exciting. You think this is your 5th additional game of the season. You're over half another season, so these guys have played a lot of football, and obviously when you get here, you get the energy going, the adrenaline rush of playing in Camp Randall, and both these teams have answered solid punches from each other so far today.
Going for it here on 4th and 22. Hansen. Look at this. Bulls on the turf, and complicating matters even more. Rice Lake takes over, and they get extra yardage on top of it. How about the play there by Keegan Gunderson, blowing it up big time.
Great defensive call. More importantly, great execution. Guys in the back end, they're really not taking a look in the back end. They knew they were going to pass. As a quarterback, you feel pressure coming. You need to secure the football. You can't just go one hand. Too many bad things happen. Case in point right here, trying to tuck it. Just a little wobble there, and with the pursuit defensively, that's when we have to secure both hands, try and make the damage as little as possible. And Coach Fensky might be, or Frisky might be thinking a little differently on what he wanted to do there after that play, the way it ended.
Yeah, that was not good ball security. No. And Rice Lake benefits from the 42-yard line. They get it now. Fensky veers around the right side, close to midfield. Carter Andrews recovered it after Gunderson wrestles it away. And watch this. Gunderson, he sees that loose pigskin, Nelly, and all he was thinking about is that ball's coming out.
Well, and first things first, he secured a tackle. You knew he had him either way. If he secures the ball, I'm bringing him down. That's what you need to do first defensively. And now the ball's kind of popping around. He sees it. Heck yeah, go for that punch, scrap, and claw. Those are drills that you work in practice. Looks like we have an offsides there.
Yep.
That could have been a big play otherwise.
That could have been.
Early movement there.
Nobody.
It looks like Rice Lake.
Oh, we're
The infraction first.
All right. Well, sometimes you move a little too fast for yourself.
It happens. The flinch there.
Just a tad, right?
Yeah, up top. And that drew Hansen off early, so Rice Lake gets docked with 5, makes it 2nd down and 8 now. Back at the 44. Warriors trailing by 2 here. Late stages of quarter number 2. That ball's loose, and Pewaukee gets it right back. Nick Detloff pounces on it. It's turnover fest here at the camp.
Well, a little nerves, a little weather, a little bit of everything, and when you don't have a solid, clean mesh, it makes it hard for your quarterback to deliver the football, hard for your running back to secure the football. Just up a little bit high. Great job getting inside that by Max Sheridan and Nick Detloff finishing off with the fumble recovery. Back and forth, opportunistic. A lot of times defensively, when you go out after a turnover on your offense, hey, it's time. Let's get one back here. Let's get this back in our guys' hands. And you try a few different things. You punch some things out. But attacking in the middle to begin with, shutting blocks gives you that opportunity. And sometimes all it takes is one hand on the football to knock it out. Case in point right there with a big turnover for the Pirates.
Yeah, that was Sheridan who poked it away. All-State honorable mention, got it done. His teammate pounced on it. Offense back in the football field. Back to the ground game we go for a pickup of 2. Jashelchik there on the carry. So fumbles lost. We're keeping track here. Pewaukee's coughed it up twice. Rice Lake, their first turnover, and it's only the first half, 3 minutes and change.
And the way these two offenses go, right, you're at midfield. It's been back and forth here a few different times. You're at about 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in this first half. That seems like a lot of time, and yet it's not with the way these guys run their offense. You can burn through 3 minutes really, really quick. So Pewaukee's only got 1 timeout. Rice Lake has all 3. Depending upon situational football, will predicate on whether they use any of those.
2nd and 8. Hansen under center. Sets up shop to throw. Fires complete. Catches man at the 35, down at the 30. That's Max Sheridan. Causes a turnover. Now picks up the first down for his offense.
I like the play call this. You have one guy running deep on a fly route. You have Sheridan an underneath route about 10, 15 yards downfield, and then you have Nick Detloff. So if the outside back or the corner that's guarding there sinks back, he goes short. If he goes short, you kind of hit the middle, and if the guy's deep down the way, which he was covered in that case, great read on their part to complete the pass. So really well designed, but more importantly, the guys ran where they were supposed to, and they got open.
1st and 10. Back to the handoff. And Jashelchik. Like a bowling ball, Jashelchik. Straight ahead to the 15-yard line. Another first down for Pewaukee. Again, when you talk about this offense by the Pirates, and Justin Frisky will tell you, we don't have one standout guy. We don't have the bell cow at running back, but we have a lot of good guys. And you're right, Nelly, I think they're fresh because they all get touches.
Yeah, and I think they respect one another. And trust me, there's competition with those guys of who's carrying the ball and who's going to score and all that, and yet there's enough respect individually that way that, hey, I might get it this time. Your number's going to get called later on, and I think they take a look at those things like, well, this is about being solid as a Pewaukee Pirates. It's not being just an individual. And when you have guys that play together as a group that are excited about how the group does, how they perform, when somebody else scores, people are downfield celebrating with them, and it's not about the individual, it's about the team. Some really good things happen. And again, we talked about this in the open. a tough road for some of these guys to get here. Rice Lake had some competition last week with Menasha, the Pirates, 28-14 against a pretty solid Monroe team. But other than that, shutouts through the playoffs. They haven't really been challenged through the course of the tournament time, even during the season. Not very many times where they were challenged. And how do they respond to some of these things here today? So far, they've answered the bell each time.
Well, we all know Pewaukee football made famous, partially made famous by the Watt brothers, of course. Played some pretty good football back in the day. Look at these pictures, Nelly.
They look a little different, don't they?
Yeah, don't they? JJ, Derek, TJ, all of them playing in the National Football League, all of them succeeding. And as good as those guys were, and they played on good teams, they could never get here to state, which is amazing. I mean, I did a double take when I'm looking at the record book. They were close sometimes, but they just couldn't finish.
It tells you how hard it is to get here, and some of it's luck, some of it's just game plan, some of it's just the ball dropping in the right place at the right time. But yeah, it's a difficult thing. You're talking 4 extra games of your season, 4 extra weeks of game planning, 4 extra weeks of bumps and bruises and all those sorts of things that sometimes it's just about staying healthy and guys producing. One other guy that wasn't shown on there, Chris McIntosh, with offensive lineman here at the UW, right? He's from Pewaukee as well. And you think about that, 4 guys that they've had, and maybe more, at least the 4 I know of, that have made it from the NFL from Pewaukee. That's pretty impressive that you're able to produce that type of talent.
Max is going to come up here in the booth and let us hear about that. You didn't have room for a 4th picture? Come on. 2nd down and 9. Pewaukee knocking on the door here, 1:42 and counting before halftime. Detloff tries the left side, tough sledding over there, out of bounds to stop the clock. That was Pewaukee's last time out. So they can still run the football here, but if it gets dicey after a 1st down, then they'll have to be choosy on whether or not they run the football. Here's Mike Lecker, the defensive coordinator, will tell you his story. Long storied defensive coordinator. He coached all the Watts. Been doing it and doing it well for over 5 decades already in the Coaches Hall of Fame, and for good reason. Right now, watching his offense try to up this lead here. 3rd down and 6 for Pewaukee. Hansen rolling, looking to throw. Fires over the middle, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Rice Lake. On the deflection and picking it off on his belly was Elliot Nolan.
Wow. He take an opportunity here, and initially, as Hansen rolls out, he's got his tight end wide open, isn't able to spin around and see him. By that time, that inside linebacker recovers. He starts to work back to the left. That particular play, Detloff, I think, is working on the backside of the edge, and then that one's tipped up in the air. That'll be close. We maybe get a better look here. That looked like that may have touched the ground.
Taking another look here, Nolan, and with the body in front there, the official on the backside taking a peek. Another angle here. Might have squeezed out. The difference here is, does Rice Lake get the football, or does Pewaukee get another shot and a 4th down? There is replay. Officials are looking at this. We don't have coaches' challenges, but
it hits the ground. It hits the ground, in my opinion.
Does it squirt out and hit the ground there as Nolan tried to gather it in? Maybe right there you see, does the tip of the football touch the carpeting before he secures it? And the officials are taking a look upstairs in communication with the replay official downstairs, and there you see the conference going on.
Meeting of the minds. Looks like that it did in fact hit the ground, which for high school, right, it does securing the ball, those sorts of things. Once it touches the ground, should be ruled incomplete. Would be my guess.
All scoring plays, all turnovers can be reviewed here at State. And again, you don't have the the two high school coaches having to try to reach for a flag. They can't challenge it, but officials upstairs and downstairs are in communication looking at this as we speak. They'll determine if it's 4th and 6 Pewaukee or 20-yard line on the touchback for Rice Lake.
So at this point, as a coach, you're planning for different scenarios. We're going to have 4th down. What's our offensive play call going to be?
Here's a zoom in, and
right there.
Yeah, good work by our guys.
I will say, heck of an effort by Nolan, though. That's just being opportunistic, right? Being in the right place at the right time, pursuit towards the football. At least you put some question in the air whether it was or wasn't.
Here's Richard Hole. So incomplete. I think that last look when we zoomed in, and by the way, we have Pat Miles up here helping us out as well. He took a peek. He thought it was going to be ruled incomplete, which it was. And Pat corrected me, all plays can be reviewed. So if it's an out-of-bounds play or what have you, they can take a look at it as they did there. So life here for Pewaukee. They get a chance to still go for it here on 4th and 6.
Yeah, now you challenge your defense for the Warriors. And Dan Hill, what have you dialed up? Can you bring some pressure, hold to the outside edge, drive them to the outside so they can't get the first down? But in the back end, you have to play man coverage if you choose to do that, but you got to make sure you read the guys where you want to.
Hanson's got it. Oh, he's stuffed at the 10-yard line. No chance.
They weren't having
to pick up the first down. No chance whatsoever. Easton Stone and company were there to wall up Hanson as he tried to pick up that 6. So Rice Lake gets the football when it's all said and done. Defense came through here, Nelly.
Guys playing man coverage, the receivers work to the outside edge, but that inside core of that defense was not fooled one bit. Read their keys, they held their ground. It's like, bring it on, fellas, we got a big stop.
And we talked about, we showed you Kristen Lindow, lost him for the season in their level 3 playoff game. Easton Stone is a sophomore. He's one of the guys who was asked to be the next man up. Boy, was he the next man up there.
Came up big.
1st and 10, Warriors from the 11. Pitch it. Carson Tomish down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 20. Rice Lake has all 3 of its timeouts if they can move in big chunks down the football field.
Looks like he's about a yard short, but he did get out of bounds, so he preserved some more time. Yeah, this is one thing where when you don't launch the ball down the field very often, when you need it in 2-minute type situations or minute and a half, makes it pretty hard. But you continue to get 9 yards of crack like that with the run game, you get to the edge and get out of bounds. That minute 17 can last for quite some time. Now, if they're bringing down inbounds, right now you're burning some time that way, and you have to be smart with play calls. But I'd be interested to see at some point. Haven't seen a whole lot from number 11, Alex Belangi, and at some point he's going to have to show up with a big play here for the Warriors.
I think he's hurt.
He's a kid who can go up and get it. Fensky gonna launch it. And incomplete. Out of the reach of Tomish. Well covered downfield by Nate Schrader. Red zone scoring chances. There have been 5 total here, Nelly. Pewaukee's 1 for 3. Rice Lake 1 for 2. So they have both moved the football into the red zone, into opportunities to put points on the board, but the defenses, we've seen them both rise up.
Yeah, the bend but don't break type attitude defensively. Like, I'll give you some yardage, but when you get down and dirty inside the red zone, it's going to be really hard. So far, that's been the case today.
3rd and 1 here for the Warriors. Now, Fensky is just going to get the first down. Brought down to the 28-yard line. Now they get a chance to hit the reset button here. 1:05 to go. And we'll see if Dan Hill wants to try to get crafty here or just settle.
They get the ball to start
8-6. They did get the ball to start the second half, so that may be the case here. Just know that you're in a very tight, competitive football game here when the 3rd quarter begins.
Yeah, if they can get a big one here, bust one out, that might change the type of play call and the aggressiveness that he has. But back inside their 30-yard line here, under a minute left to play, as we get a penalty on the play, that might change the type of play call they have.
Offsides at Pewaukee. Richard Hole, we've heard from him. Referee from Stratford, his crew, Lester Boehner, Chris Fisher, Joseph Osman, and Mike Armbruster. Marshfield, Stratford, Spencer, Central Wisconsin locale for our officials. Privilege and honor for these guys to work this Division III game as well. So 1st and 5 now at the 34-yard line. Right there. Oops.
Yep, just a little bit early.
Evan Tank came in prematurely. Fensky tosses downfield, catch is made. Out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Tegan Schauer.
Nothing super fancy, right? Just a simple out route, trying to get to the outside edge. Everything's cleared underneath. Quarterback makes the right read, delivers the ball, and you turn upfield for an extra couple yards. And most importantly, you get out of bounds. So as it continued to get some chunk yards this way, 38 seconds seems like a pretty short amount of time, but they've got 2 timeouts left. There's 3 timeouts, I think. Yeah, 3 times outs. A lot of time left to play.
Fensky again to the 40-yard line.
They might have to take a look at either spiking this or calling a timeout with the clock running.
And there's the timeout.
Yeah.
Shire again. Now, you mentioned Belangi. Not on the field on this drive. He might be hurt. They might be saving him for just the defensive side of the football, but not in the offensive flow here in the second quarter.
Yeah, which is a big loss for them offensively. He's a huge piece of the receiving core, probably the top guy. I think he came into the game with 12 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you see Alex, 10. You see him over the huddle there, number 11. So he's up and he's in the mix. He's not over there with the training staff, but again, we'll see if he plays on the defensive side, maybe defensive only, but maybe too risky to risk any other injury here. Might be talking about it with his teammates there. But a little hobble, little gingerly run off of the field earlier. So again, a storyline that we'll watch unfold. Can he play defensively? Right now, not out there offensively, but his teammates are moving the football. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 40. Fensky pulls it back, buys time, and runs out of time. And the ball came loose on top of that. Nick Detloff got the sack. Ball squirts out. And right there was Ryan Sandvik to scoop it and take it back the other way. Down to the 40 of Rice Lake.
Wow, exciting. Watch 34. Pretty awesome job by Carson Hansen. Blows up the initial block, and then coming back from the backside is Detloff. And then both those guys get in there and smash the quarterback, and Fensky had no chance. He's good looking left, he's looking right. A lot of black shirts around him, and then the fumble. Again, pursuit to the football is huge for both these teams. Case in point with the number of turnovers we've had here yet today.
Yeah, Ryan Sandvik got the loose change. He's one of the defensive ends up front. Right place, right time. Now it's Pewaukee. No timeouts left. Remember, 23 seconds to go. Hansen wants to throw. On the move he does. Connects. And out of bounds at the 28-yard line, hooking up with Logan Schill.
Looking at the routes being run. One guy running a deeper route. Some guys sit about 5-10 yards. And adjusting on the fly towards your quarterback, working back to the football. But again, well designed. Quick hit to the outside edge. You get some separation from the defensive back, outside linebacker. And your quarterback delivers the ball spot on. Really well done.
Logan Schill is the field goal kicker. He's only tried 2 field goals for Pewaukee all year. Trying to get him close, though. Hansen launches in traffic. Catch is made. No timeouts left. And not a first down, so the clock's going to roll, and the clock's going to run out here unless they snap it. They spike it with 2 left. Good hustle there. Hansen passing now 4 of 6 for 39 yards. Completed that and just got the troops up there quickly. Justin Frisky says field goal try.
Right. Hansen getting his guys collected, coaches making sure that your players understand the situation. We don't have any timeouts. We got to hustle back. You could see each of the guys just say, get back to the line, get on the line of scrimmage, get set. We can spike the football. Gave yourself a chance. First with creating a turnover, which was awesome, being able to pounce on that, and then putting yourself in position to possibly get more points heading into halftime.
39-yard try for Logan, or rather Nick Detloff. Nope, not even close. Fair caught in the end zone. And that's how the first half will end. A little bit of a whimper, a lot of turnovers in this one. Boy, the defenses came to play in this Division III title matchup. And the offenses, they got to hit the reset button, try to figure things out. It's 8-6. Pewaukee leading Rice Lake at the half in the Division III state championship. We've got a whole agenda of halftime activity to keep you posted, to keep you entertained, if you will. So come on back for more on Valley Sports Wisconsin.
Pop quiz, go.
Which one of these Pro Balls from Adidas was purchased with Rakuten and comes with cash back?
They look identical.
They both have great moves on the pitch.
Hold the action, is that?
Indeed. That cheeky bugger comes with cash back.
Well, there's your answer. But leave the cheekies to me.
Why wouldn't you buy sports equipment with Rakuten?
Back here at Camp Randall Stadium, Pewaukee head coach Justin Frisky. Boy, Justin, opening drive, pretty much as scripted, I would take it.
Well, it went pretty well for us, of course. We got 6 and then the 2-point conversion, but you know, we have some mistakes we got to clean up here for the second half. The turnovers got to stop.
Yeah, your defense, though, I mean, they've kind of diagnosed what Rice Lake. This is not an easy offense to diagnose, but your defense is right up in their faces.
Well, we bowed up there a couple of times deep in territory, and we've gotten a couple of turnovers of our own, so that's good. But we've got to do a better job of working off blocks and getting to the ball carrier.
We'll let you get after it. Thank you, Justin.
All right, thank you, Bob.
That's Justin Frisky of Pewaukee. You heard him talk about the turnovers. They were part of the story in the first half of this one. We'll talk about it when we return. 8-6 at the half here in Division III.
Hello.
Rock Solid Max has the features that hardware stores need at an affordable, fixed monthly price. With integrated point of sale, purchasing, inventory management, accounts receivable, reporting, and analytics, your business will be more efficient. Leverage comprehensive EDI communications, special order features, and lumber functionality typically found in more expensive solutions. With Rock Solid Max, you can manage your business from any internet connection. Access up-to-date sales information, process orders, view an item's price, and check stock status from anywhere in the store, at home, or even on the beach. Contact us today, and we'll show you how Rock Solid Max can help you thrive.
Halftime continuing here, Pewaukee and Rice Lake in this Division III State Football Championship. Joined now by Assistant Director of the WIAA, Kate Peterson-Abiad, braving the weather. Hey, it's not windy like yesterday, Kate, so we do got that going for us.
Well, thank you. If you're in control of the weather, I appreciate that.
I did my best. Wanted to talk to you about a couple of things, most notably the officials. It's always a storyline recurring every year when school starts, getting enough officials, getting people involved. Talk about the process the WIA does to recruit not only new ones, retaining what we have to kind of grow that base.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a real crisis this year. We had a lot of officials who did not relicense during the pandemic, and we understood that. We just asked them to come back after when they felt comfortable, and this year we saw a massive drop, even in addition to what we had seen over COVID, the COVID time when it was at its most prevalent. Percent of our officials did not relicense this year. We need officials in every single
actor, or your kids played if you were a coach.
Graduated from high school competitively.
Well, and you know, yours, I mean, for the, oh man, I miss being around football.
There's a minimal need them.
We move to the indoor sport.
Need officials 25% of a loss.
One watching at home.
With the Officials Association that can help you make it through the process and really make this an enjoyable experience.
You know, share maybe a quick story, you know, the officials that have done it a long time, you know, the folks here at the football, you know, we were talking about some of the other sports you're involved with, volleyball, soccer. I mean, the folks that have done it, got to be a pretty gratifying feeling, isn't it?
Well, I had a volleyball official who actually officiated at the state volleyball tournament, and the last time she had been at the state volleyball tournament was when she played in high school, which was really cool. There's a lot of cool stories, a lot of camaraderie.
Assistant Director.
It's
The 2021 WIAA State Football Championships are brought to you by Quick Trip. Now with freshly prepared take-home meals, they've got you covered. By Cousin Subs, we believe in better. By Rural Mutual, premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. And by WEA, every member financially secure. Back here at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, Wisconsin, there's your score at the half of the Division III State Championship. Pewaukee in front of Rice Lake, 8-6. Bob Brainerd, Scott Nelson, our crew. And the story of the first half here was the fact that there were a ton of turnovers. When I say a ton, 2 each, but it seemed like more because the offenses could not get a whole lot going. And we are all set to talk with head coach Dan Hill of Rice Lake. Dan, the turnovers really were the story. Was it their defense or your guys just not handling the football, executing? What did you see?
Yeah, I think we had one that they earned, and then the other one was a miscue on ours. You know, the mesh, footwork, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's the key to the game. Turnovers, penalties, you don't want those. You hope they happen on the other side. And then big plays. A couple of times we didn't have guys with their eyes on the right thing. So we got to make more big plays and take them away from them.
Yeah, for sure, Dan. Now turnabout is fair play. Your defense has risen up to cause two turnovers as well against Pewaukee.
Yep, no, that's big. That's what's keeping us in. And now we got to take it over.
All right, Dan, thanks. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
That's Dan Hill, head coach at Rice Lake. His guys trail by a pair here as we get set to kickstart the second half of football. 8-6, third quarter on the way when we return.
Rock Solid Max has the features that hardware stores need at an affordable, fixed monthly price. With integrated point of sale, purchasing, inventory management, accounts receivable.
In the TV biz, Scott Nelson, they call that a rejoin with the thumping music. I like that. That was appropriate to sum up the first half. You had a couple touchdowns, and you had 4 turnovers sandwiched in between everything. It really was the story of that first half.
Yeah, I think overall, defensively, both teams showed out really, really well. Just take a look at the halftime stats. Pewaukee has the edge with time of possession. A lot of that was that first drive that they had. But overall, the defense have settled in, and sometimes, like, boy, it's sloppy play, and yet I think the defense has been opportunistic. They've found ways. They've obviously been coached up on creating turnovers. Guys are punching at the football. Offensively, you just have to secure the football. You have to make sure you have it tucked away as you're fighting for extra yards. But I thought defensively, both squads for the Pirates and the Warriors really showed out extremely well in that first half.
Detloff will boot it here for Pewaukee. He's a touchback machine, says Justin Frisky. Got a strong leg. This time coming up shy at the 5. Chance to return it up the middle. Running room there to the 32-yard line. Elliott Nolan carries it out there and hobbling to get off the field. One of his teammates back there. That's Carson Tomesh. So he's hobbly. Belangi, haven't seen him play offensively. There's Tomesh. Got tangled up in the traffic, Nelly.
Yeah, really nice job of setting the wall up in front to get on the inside. There you see Tomesh get hit by number 17. Took a heck of a shot from Casca. But trying to get to the middle, really nice job of getting blockers on blockers, not allowing the Pirates cover unit to converge down. But they stayed in their lanes. So, again, just well-coached football and kids executing extremely well.
Belangi's out there at the top of your screen, but he hobbled out from the huddle. And this time, the handoff goes nowhere. Give it to Easton Stone, and he is wrapped up immediately by Max Sheridan.
I like the way Pewaukee's defense is playing right now. They're playing very aggressive. They're getting after guys. The linebackers, we talk about playing, reading slow and reacting fast. That time shoots the gap, read it right away, knows that his guys up front are executing it more or less, or getting to the inside edge, gives them a lane to run through. Really nice job, though, dialing up some pressure from different spots. Right now, the Rice Lake Warriors are trying to figure out what is going on and where do we need to get to, but because Pewaukee's teeing off.
Yeah, Sheridan now with his 6th tackle there. Loss in the play, 2nd down and a dozen. Give it to Nolan. And Elliott Nolan stacked up at the line of scrimmage. So Rice Lake trying to get its footing here in the second half. Pewaukee not having it. Interesting, Scott. When I talked to Justin Frisky, he said, we don't ask our defensive line to do a lot. What we ask them to do is to allow our linebackers to be who we are.
Well, you got 2 of them in Sheridan and Detloff that are really, really good. So what he's basically telling everybody is, like, we want these guys to engage blocks, get into gaps, not allow those offensive linemen to get to the next level, and let those 2 dudes run. And when you can do that, right, it's really, really good football, and you see good plays and negative yardage plays like Sheridan had a couple plays ago.
Boy, and those dudes, they've been taking care of business this afternoon. 3rd down and 14. Fensky to throw. He's got plenty of time. Over the middle he goes, and it's dropped. Wouldn't have got the 1st down anyway. In and out of the hands of Keegan Gunderson, but it brings up 4th down and a punt.
Yeah, when I got the 1st down, Keegan felt that pressure coming from the inside. He's got a corner over the top of him. Right at the last second here, you'll see his head turn and take a look back at the defender. Right at the last second, he loses the sight of the ball. Again, it's simple things for us as coaches and people that watch this game many, many times. First things first, you got to catch the rock before you can do anything, and just that little glance is all it takes.
Carson Tomesh is the punter. Actually, it wasn't Tomesh who was hurt. That was Cole Fensky who had to step into punting duties. Not bad.
Trying to wind it along for a couple extra yards there, right?
So the Warriors have been dinged up here in this state championship, so Fensky has to jump in there and handle the punting chores with Tomesh hurt on the kickoff. Rice Lake, their first 3 and out. Defense comes out. Pirates offense back in the field with a 2-point cushion.
First punt of the game, I think, today was right there as well. Again, sometimes it's a feeling out process, right? They played solid here now for a little bit over 2 quarters. And this can become very much a field position game with a 2-point margin. It's not going to take much for this. I don't think we're going to see these teams erupt for many points this second half. This could be very much a defensive battle the rest of the way.
Yeah, check and checkmate going on here at Camp Randall. 1st and 10 from the 29. On the give. Shashaushik out to the 34-yard line. We saw Belangi line up gingerly out to his wide receiver spot on offense on that 3 and out series. He's not out there in defense, Nelly.
Yeah, that's certainly something that can would have been something else for the Pewaukee to worry about, knowing that he's down. Even when he was out on that one offensive play, all he did was step like a quick dart pass. He's more or less a decoy at this point, and the more the Pewaukee sees that injury and his lack of performance, and they don't have to worry about him.
Trying to throw without Belangi there, and in and out of the hands, just coming up shy.
Hansen's pass incomplete.
Nate Schrader.
Intended for Nathan Schrader.
Can't connect downfield, but they took a shot, and again, they're aware too. They don't see number 11 out there. That's an all-state secondary kid.
Right, and a risky shot. You got a corner over the top, a safety in the middle, more or less double covered with another safety coming from the backside. That's one that if you're going to try and lead him downfield, you can't throw it short. You got to lead him up over the top. He was able to break over the top, and you throw it back, he's got to curl back in. But that allows those defenders that got beat underneath to recover. And again, when you're not used to passing and doing those things, some of that timing is just a little bit off.
Hansen 4 of 7 now for 53 yards through the air. Little jet sweep action here. Max Sheridan finds a lane, finds running room, finds himself getting a first down. Out to the 48-yard line. Boy, Max Sheridan having himself a day on both sides of the ball.
Nice job pulling out on the edge by number 51, and that's Loya. Sheridan says, you know what? I don't need you, big fella. I'm going to go right around you. You don't even have to worry about making a block for me. Try and set some things up, though. A great stiff arm, like you said. These guys are competing, and if they can get to that edge, they've got the speed to take it to the house. But so far, the pursuit by the Rice Lake Warrior defense has been pretty solid today.
Well, and that's where Belangi, playing in that secondary, he would come up. Yeah, he would come up and protect that edge for Rice Lake. So a big loss for the Warriors on D. 1st and 10, 48-yard line, ball comes out, and play whistled. Knee was down there as Kyle Kaska lost the handle on the exchange from Hansen. Boy, it has been slippery when wet here for both teams today. Sometimes the defenses have caused the turnovers. Other times it's just been miscues like that.
Self-inflicted. Right, again, just not a clean mesh, not a clean exchange between the quarterback and running back. And those are things that at this point in the season you get really frustrated as a coach. And I know the guys like, what? Why was that different, right? It's a matter of I need to look with my eyes into my point of attack where I'm going to stick the ball into my running back, and then I need to read the defense. A lot of little things have to happen, but at this point, those are miscues that you hope would not happen.
Shishelshick, gain of a couple, brings up 3rd down and 10. You could sense that, Nelly, talking to both Dan Hill and Justin Frisky. When they're giving their first half assessments, you could feel the frustration. You could hear them saying, that can't happen. We can't turn it over. We've got to clean things up.
And that's the message you have to your kids. Like, fellas, it's a 2-point game. Nobody's taken over this thing at all. Those are the little things that can make a difference. And time and time again, we saw that yesterday with turnovers and penalties. We've seen that some of it today in the first game. You can't have those types of mistakes and expect to win a football game. Now, having said that, both these guys have created turnovers back and forth, so you have a little bit more of a stalemate that way. But at some point, somebody breaks, and you just hope it's the opposing team.
Oh, Rice Lake saw this coming. Trenton Bader in the backfield, little double reverse handoff. Nick Detloff goes down, another loss on the play. Defense rises to the occasion now for Rice Lake.
Well, when you're not used to passing, right, when you're run first type offense, playing behind the sticks is awfully difficult. Yeah, you took a shot, but the secondary for the Warriors was stout on that one pass play, and they've continued to come backwards. They're dialing up some pressure. They're getting it into the quarterback. They're staying sound on the backside where that double handoff, more or less a reverse, can't work. And when you have that happen, right now you feel pretty good about yourself. You can feel the momentum switch to your side, and now it's a matter of maintaining it offensively.
Nolan fields the punt. Rice Lake has the football again here in the 3rd quarter. They trail by 2, 8-6.
Hello.
The Pewaukee Warriors in the house here at camp. Getting ready to set up shop in their locker room. They've got the Division II matchup with the Highlanders from Homestead. It's coming your way next on Bally Sports Wisconsin. Good one here. Back and forth we go. Defensive standoff in Division III, Rice Lake and Pewaukee. Midway point here of quarter number 3. Easton Stone on the carry there.
Yeah, you kind of sense things have slowed down a little bit here where we saw that frenzy in the first half. Field position-wise, teams have had to drive a little bit further, sustain some things, but defensively, they're still creating opportunities for turnovers and punts. We've seen, not saying the first half, that we've seen 2 now. I think this is one, again, at some point somebody's going to break, and it's just the point, are you ready defensively to handle it? Or are you ready offensively to put the hammer down and try and get in the end zone?
Stone gets the first down. Al Minert, you can kind of sense that defenses have both of ways, have kind of figured things out.
Yeah, it's been very interesting to see. Now, one of the things that always impressed me with the option teams were little subtle changes to blocking schemes. So this is an interesting drive to see how they're adjusting to that front that Pewaukee's throwing at them.
Warriors get a first down there, 41-yard line. Operating here, another hole for Nolan, who's starting to find some holes created by that offensive line.
Offensive track just a little wider, almost more like an outside veer than the inside veer. Look for Pewaukee to try to fire those linebackers in to mix up the mesh.
Yeah, thanks, Al. This offensive line, it's a group that, as Dan Hill says, has made the most progress during the season, and he said it's the reason that we made it to state. He credits the guys up front for being able to figure things out and come together as a unit. He said they started to quit playing for themselves and started playing for the guy next to you.
Well, and the guys up front have to play as a single unit, right? You can't have individuals doing different things, doing their own thing. That's not successful championship-style football. And right now they've got 2 tight ends. They got a full lineup of 7 guys up front, 4 guys in the back end, a wing T, and then that's packing in Pewaukee, right? I'm looking at a couple linebackers that are coming in to fill the gap. Just a great surge there by the Warrior offensive line to get to the first down. But when you're running a double tight package, for the Warriors, Pewaukee's now got more or less 6 guys. Outside linebackers down the line of scrimmage. You got 4 down linemen. You got 2 linebackers. And they're just packing it in there like, fine, if you want to run, this is what we're going to do. And you got to try and beat us. And right now, it's subtle, small, short yardage plays, but the Warriors are finding their way right now.
Yeah, this is really just simplified now. Without Belangi, they know it. Like, look, we don't have that threat downfield. We're going to do this. And Nolan again goes right up the crease, picks up 7, maybe 8 yards to the 39-yard line. So, yeah, it's been dumbed down, Nelly. It's been just, we're going to bunch everybody up tight. We're going to run the football, and we're going to make Pewaukee, who made those adjustments in the first half, right. Now Rice Lake saying, you got to adjust again.
Well, and we're putting it on our offensive line, really. If you're going to bunch in like this, you're going to run those straight-ahead dives. Yeah, your offensive line has to show up, and you can see them dig into the turf a little bit more. They're on their hands, ready to go and drive out and move some dudes.
Nolan, again. Well, this is working. Another first down run to the 26-yard line. It's an undersized offensive line for Rice Lake. But Dan Hill says they're all big weight room guys. They have good fight. When they hear this offensively, this is when the line licks its chops.
Yeah, and you're going to be strong in the weight room. You don't have to be 250, 280, 290 pounds. If you have good leverage and good technique, you can overcome some of those things. And especially with speed, you can get to your block faster than the defenders coming at you. Good things can happen.
Nolan again. Parker Owens, Scott Gilbert, Nate Carroll, Chase Margetta, Aiden Drost. Those are the 5 guys up front. And then, as Nelly pointed out, you're throwing the tight ends in there in Jace Fitzgerald and Keegan Gunderson. Those guys, they've been told, you're blocking now.
Yeah, and as you get closer towards the goal line here, right, this is a situation where you've been going middle, and off tackle, off guard just a few times. At some point, you're going to try and sneak your quarterback or maybe run a quick option to the edge as opposed to attacking the middle. But because you have the defense continue to crash down and dive down, now they're starting to look, and that's what their assumption is, right? And then that's where you can try and do some play action and try and catch them off on the edge.
Stone again on the carry. It's been a healthy dose of Easton Stone. Now what do you do here on 3rd down and 7? You go up the middle, and you pick up the 1st down of the 14. Easton Stone again. It's been a healthy dose of 42 on this drive, Nelly.
Let your guys go to work again. Strong kid. He's only a sophomore, but you see how low he is to the ground. Reminds me a lot of like Lancaster football when they were successful over the years, coming in very much a similar style. Look, quick hitters right up the middle. They're just going to try and outwork you, out hustle you, and out grind you. And right now, that's what the Warriors got going on.
Fensky pass is knocked down over the middle. Tried a quick one, and Nick Detloff got the pads up there.
Yeah, Detloff's one you have to account for. 6'1". He's able to get those arms up and knock it down. They had a guy right down the middle. I don't mind that call at all. Sitting on 1st down, you just release one of your tight ends right down the middle, and that's right where he is. He's open, up and over the top. Nice play call. You set yourself up with 2nd and 10, but now you're right back to business.
Into the belly of Stone. Not much there, maybe a yard. 15th carry for him, 76 yards for Stone. Easton, just a sophomore. They're leaning on him, though, knowing they don't have their all-state wide receiver at their beck and call here to provide that deep threat down the field. Big play here on 3rd down and 10 for Rice Lake.
I look at those linebackers are packing in there a little bit tighter. I look for something, a pitch or a quick toss out to the outside edge, trying to hit that corner.
It's a 2nd man and tripped up in the backfield. That was Elliott Nolan, and that was Carson Hansen getting in there quick.
Defensively being comfortable with the play call, understanding down and distance where you're at, and then assignment football again. Hold your gaps, get off blocks. Guys are flowing in from the outside, turning them back inside, and again, some opportunistic play defensively, reaching your hand out to try and make a play. Shoestring tackle, fumbles, we've seen it today, but take an opportunity when it comes.
Chase Fitzgerald, the 30-yard field goal try to give Rice Lake the lead. And he missed it. Pushed it right. And Pewaukee, the bend but don't break on that drive, results in the Pirates remaining in front on the scoreboard. Got it off just in time, but pushed it, missed it, and we stay 8-6 here in Madison.
Book your summer travel with free cancellation on Hotels.com. You can't go wrong with Hotels.com.
Empty trip on the football field for the Rice Lake Warriors. Great drive, 14 plays, 57 yards, almost 6.5 minutes on that drive. And then the field goal try, they would have taken that for sure, would have put them in front on the scoreboard. Instead, the scoreboard stays at 8-6. Pewaukee football here. Down the sideline, still on his feet and dancing, prancing, and finally out of bounds is Carter Pearson.
Nice job by the junior running back against some quick hitters to the outside edge. Bob, and when they're running, right, they're looking to turn the corner. They got, again, a guard pulls out another running back out in front, but they try to get to that corner because of the speed that they have. They know it. They use have great use of the stiff arm. And when you can get to the outside edge, the pursuits from the middle coming from the backside, right? They have a long way to run. And so you can turn that corner. Thankfully for the Warriors, he stumbled out of bounds. I'm not sure that their pursuit was at the right angle to force him out, but really like that play call.
Pearson, the fastest of the running backs in that core, that stable of running backs, but he's battling some ankle injuries. Looked good there on that run. Casca on that run there gets him to the 49-yard line.
I really like watching Casca there. I guess you'd call it a slippery runner. Absorbed the first hit, right? Really now not allowed the defender to get into him. to grab on the cloth or hang on to anything as far as the tackle goes. Slips out of that, gets another 3 or 4 yards out of the play because of it. Sometimes a running back doesn't have to be super fast or super powerful. If they can absorb a hit and kind of use that momentum from the defender to get away from him again and then get some positive yardage.
2nd down and 4. Hansen, quick give. And Pearson gets popped at midfield. That's how the 3rd quarter will end here in Madison. It was 8-6 at the half. Scoreless 3rd quarter means we go to the 4th quarter with a Division III state championship on the line. It's still 8-6. Who wants it more? With 12 minutes of regulation football remaining here at Camp Randall.
Please. This is 60 Sec Tech. This video explores regulated metal deposition, or RMD. Productivity and quality.
8-4 as we get set to commence the 4th quarter of football here in Division III state championship. Pewaukee scored on its opening drive, tacked on 2 more.
Start the 4th quarter.
Rice Lake
3rd and 3
got a touchdown. Went for 2, didn't get it. And here we stand in a standoff. 3rd down and 3 for Pewaukee, and they'll get the 1st down to start the 4th quarter. Straight ahead goes Carson Hansen.
Nate Carroll made the tackle. Gain of 5, 1st and 10, Pewaukee at the 45.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That's
that would look pretty comfortable.
I know,
there, didn't it?
Carson Hansen's like, absolutely. From the 45 of Rice Lake. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. Rice Lake jumps all over that one. Fensky got in there first. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Rice Lake really working with 5 down defensive linemen, and they shift over with a tight end and a wing on the one side to the left side of the offense. Leaves 2 guys on the backside. Those guys really have to slow play things off the edge. Slide down the line as the play works away from you. You're working on cutback. That time that play ended up coming right to him. Really good job on the backside by those 2.
Hansen gives it to Pearson, and Pearson blown up in the backfield by Easton Stone. Stone. Tell you what, this is a really good-looking sophomore. Both sides of the ball, Nelly.
Very much. Number 9, Tegan Shore, does a great job of blasting in there. Actually forces him back inside. If he doesn't flash, I'm not sure that he gets to that play, but Shore gets up holding his arm. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but he really started that play by flashing the outside. Great read on his part to beat the block and force the running back to turn into the rest of the pursuit.
How about Stone? 5 solo tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss. Kid's been everywhere on the defensive side. And, of course, you've seen him carrying the rock aplenty on that last drive. Now a whistle on timeout, Justin Frisky and the Pewaukee Pirates. They want to talk about it here on 3rd and 12. Possessions will be limited in the 4th quarter, and it's a dicey scoreboard. Still 8-6 Pewaukee.
Fall fashion is back, which means amazing new shoes, boots, and coats. I'm Aisha Curry for the new Just Fab. This is the return of fabulous fashion. My Just Fab fall collection is high on style. Think runway fashion without the price and wear all day comfort. Step up, step out, you're on. Get 2 pairs of great shoes from my collection from just $29.95 plus free shipping when you join at justfab.com.
With both teams running the football a lot here in a tight ball game, yes, possessions here in the 4th quarter will be precious. They will be limited. So it's a big call here for Pewaukee trying to pick up the 1st down. They need the 35-yard line to keep the football. Hansen will roll. Fires downfield, and it's caught at the 30 for a first down. Logan Schill. They call him the little water bug. They find ways to get him in spaces so he can make plays like that.
Well, if we get a chance to see this on replay, does a tremendous job first of getting on the edge. He's covered. Quarterback just throws it up, right? Carson Hansen's just going to throw this up, but watch him work back to the football to come in front of the defender and make that reception. Outstanding job of competing for the football. And then as they go to the ground, offensive gets that tie every single time, but great work on his part to come underneath the defender for the reception.
16-yard pickup and a huge first down. Pewaukee retains the football here. Doesn't have to boot it. Hansen, tuck and go. Trying to get to the edge, and then lowers the boom as he's belted out of bounds.
I watched some of these guys, Bob. You got other running backs, you got linemen that are pulling. It's like they are excited to get up to the outside edge and go hit somebody. You pull a lineman, you have a running back, two running backs, lead blocking, but they're just hunting and looking for bodies to hit. That it's almost like they get more enjoyment on making the contact than they do running the football.
TJ, Derek, JJ, they'd all be proud. Second down and 3 at the 24-yard line. Hansen again, just navigating, and he just sticks the arm out and says steer for the offensive line.
Gain of 4 for the first down. It's almost like he was just waiting patiently. I know I have to get to the 25-yard line at least for a first down. I got to the line. I work out of bounds. Again, a number of black shirts out in front. I think I heard Coach Minnert say this before, like student body right, student body left. Well, they keep going left. They found something on that edge that they like, and right now they're exposing it.
Fresh set of downs, though, at the 20-yard line. The pass play was huge to set up all these running plays, and they run it again. This time Schill comes around, and Rice Lake all over at that time. No gain in the play.
Yeah, the line just trying to play, but he's...
And Schill shaken up.
We take a few hits here or there, right? That's going to happen eventually.
There's Belangi, and he was out there, Nelly, and now he's not going to be out there.
Yeah. He's trying. The coach are like, can you go? Can you give us one play? And he's in the thick of it right in the middle there, but you can tell that he's just not himself today. And at that point, you got to, as a coach, you say, look, you've done your part, right? You helped us get here. You're one of our leaders, and you've done some things. But, Alex, we got to be smart with you. It's about your future and things. As much as it means for him right now, we got to have the guys that can play the best out on the field, and we got to think about your health long term.
Hansen on the carry there. You saw without him offensively, Belangi, they found a way. They said, okay, we're just going to run the football. We're going to pack it in.
Right.
But he's more valuable to them being in the secondary because even with a team like Pewaukee, who doesn't throw it a lot, Belangi is a guy who's like having another linebacker there. Another guy who can charge in and stop and slow down this running game. So this is a big loss. And a big play again here for Pewaukee. Another third down they need to convert on this drive. 3rd and 6 from the 16.
Here comes student body left.
Hansen rolling and going down. Charging in to bring him down, Keegan Gunderson. That's a play Belangi makes. Gunderson makes it on his behalf.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing. Again, good, solid football. They're running left. They're running up the middle. This time they decide to go to the right. Really good job, again, fighting upfield. I really like defenders when they get to this, not only just engaging in the block, but you don't want to just play patty cake with the dude. You want to drive him back. You want to hold your outside edge, play your responsibility. Well, he drove him back about 6 or 7 yards. Your quarterback in Carson Hansen has no opportunity to even find a guy downfield with great coverage and the pursuit in his face.
4th and 13. Can Pewaukee convert? They need the 10-yard line. And a timeout called by Justin Frisky. Second timeout here in the second half. Frisky trying to get his offense to convert one more time. Keep this football to keep this lead intact.
This is 60 Sec Tech. This video explores regulated metal deposition, or RMD. Productivity and quality are critical in open root pipe welds, but TIG welding root passes is time-consuming and isn't easy for all welders. Using regulated metal deposition instead can greatly improve productivity, with some operations seeing gains of 50%, all while achieving X-ray quality welds. This easy-to-learn modified short-circuit MIG process precisely controls metal transfer for uniform droplet deposition. It can bridge gaps from 1/8 of an inch up to 5/32 of an inch, creating consistent root reinforcement on the inside of the pipe. RMD also maintains consistent arc length, regardless of stickout. Included on Pipeworks 400 welding systems and ArcReach smart feeders, RMD delivers more productivity and weld quality, in the shop or in the field.
Big part of this football game right here. Pewaukee has it 4th and 13. They need the 10-yard line to keep this drive alive. No punt team out there. They'll go for it. If they don't get it, they'll hang their hats on their defense. And Carson Hansen with the snap, pulls it in. Downfield, and it's knocked down. Smart play made there by Elliott Nolan. Warriors take over.
Elliott Nolan, who had the interception called back in the end zone in the first half. Smart play, as you mentioned, probably saved his team about 10 yards at least by knocking this 4th down pass. Really good job of getting out of pressure by Hansen, but this one was just thrown up for grabs. Knocks it down. Really solid play. The other thing I'm looking at here now, Pewaukee's called 2 timeouts. They've got 1 left. Their defense has to show up. If Rice Lake is able to drive down the field and score, now you've set yourself up with just that 1 timeout. And we've seen a lot of time tick off the clock here with these possessions both ways. And you don't want to sit there with not a lot of time left and only the 1 timeout. You were forced to call it, but that could come into play down the stretch.
Fensky to throw on 1st down. It was tipped twice at the line of scrimmage. So trying to go back to the air here is Rice Lake.
2nd and 10 for Rice Lake.
You can see the laughter there. Ethan Reynolds, watch him. The initial tip there, and then Reynolds, oh, I almost had a pick. Yeah.
That's why he's laughing, like,
Yep.
what? Oh, man. Like, you don't have too many times, big fella, to get that, right? But slow yourself down.
But that was Sheridan again. Max Sheridan.
He's had a day. Had a day.
2nd down and 10. Fensky's got it. Pitches it. Nolan. Elliott Nolan lowers the shoulder. Man, tough kids in this football game.
Gets the crowd all jazzed up as he comes to the sideline and lowers the shoulder, and yet defensively, you know what? I just knocked you out of bounds. You can hit me as hard as you want. Good for you. Looks good, kind of a sexy play, but you're still short of the 1st down. So I'll take that.
And Josh Bunyer took the abuse there. Big play here for Rice Lake, 3rd down and 2. Stone. Boy, right at the line, but might be a tad shy.
Looks like about a ½ yard short. I don't know if it'll warrant a measurement or not, but
no, it is
looks
short.
like he's short. Yeah,
you're right, Nelly.
They're probably going to measure just because.
Give the chain gang some love here, but yeah, at first blush, looks to be about a ½ yard shy. And if you're Pewaukee, you're digging in here, already thinking about, you know, they're going to go for it. And how can they find a play to have them come up shy again? Oh, about a yard shy. So 4th and that many links for Rice Lake to keep the football.
Got to dial up your best defensive play. You know they've tried to hit you in the middle a few times. You got to pack that in, but you cannot lose the edge and lose sight of those guys They've come double tight, double wing. They've tucked one of the wings back more like a sniffer back behind the tackle. And you got your quarterback and running back. Could certainly run some misdirection, try and run an option to the wide side. There's a lot of things here now defensively. You have to trust your eyes, and you have to play sound fundamental football. Read your keys, react, and go after it. Offensively, it's just about down and dirty, nasty line play.
And Dan Hill says, timeout. We'll talk about it. Crucial play coming up for his Warriors. They went for it on 4th down earlier. Came up shy, didn't get it. This one, though, a little more emphasis, a little more meaning behind it, because don't get it here, and then you've got a team that can grind lots of clock on the ground and also where the football would be.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's where Pewaukee really in their last set offensively was very comfortable with the play calls that they had. I like the way they were working out the left side of the line of scrimmage. Then they try to get a little cute with some pass plays, but you know what? You're trying to do the best thing at the opportune time and trying to catch Rice Lake thinking the same thing and take advantage of that.
You saw Nate Cook, the offensive coordinator, making sure everyone in that huddle is on the same page.
Yeah, those last instructions. Here's what's expected. Here's what you need to do. And those are the times that, fellas, it's time to lock and load. This is the fun part of football.
Everyone digging in here on 4th and 1. Nolan, you saw him jet out in motion. Now back to that right side. Back in motion again. Give it to Stone. He's got the first. Easton Stone. He's been huge for the Warriors. None bigger than that carry right there. They keep the rock in their possession.
Try and run a little motion initially to see, does anybody adjust? And they don't. You go back to where you were. You run the play call that you had off the left side of the offensive line. Really nice job of being patient and then taking advantage of the opportunity in front of you.
Brand new set of downs from the 38-yard line. Grinding and pushing and churning for as much as he can get. Easton Stone again. Without Belangi in there, without the opportunity to throw it deep downfield and let the all-state receiver go up and get it, it's been simplified on offense. But Rice Lake, they've been effective with the running game all season long.
At some point, I look for Fenske to keep that run the option to the edge. There's only one guy on defense on the outside edge. If he can catch that, could be pretty good.
They give it to Stone again. Stacked up at the 43-yard line. Here's another 3rd down coming up for Rice Lake as time ticks down. 5:42 and counting.
Sheridan and Detloff, again, we've talked about them a number of times at inside linebacker, doing a tremendous job of taking that dive away for little or no gain. Again, I would try and work that outside edge here in 3rd and 5.
It's Stone. Stacked up at the 46-yard line. 4th down, they're going to need 2, maybe 2.5 here to keep the football and move the chains again. Detloff was in there.
Well, maybe they're setting up for that pull and option pitch here. Advantage for your quarterback. And in Fenske, maybe on this play, outside edge, they're not covering that very strong right now. They're really looking at that dive up the middle.
4th and 2. Stop shy. Pewaukee football. Stone off the right side, and the Pirates respond. Boy, this defense, how special it has been all season long, and in the postseason, it has been primo.
Comes up big again. Linebackers in the middle, attacking and reading right away. More importantly, defensive linemen that are knifing underneath and holding gaps to create that offensive line. Push back just a little bit. It changes the angle of your running back. They can't hit the gap with full speed. Gets his feet tripped up, and again, a really solid defensive effort by Pewaukee. They've been able to, here in the second half, been able to find a number of answers defensively against Rice Lake. Now can their offense come up one big drive here with 4:45 left? Rice Lake has 2 timeouts. You got to grind some first downs out of this one.
From the 47, Hansen. Just going to call his own number.
Keep working that left side. They found some there. They're able to get to the corner. 3-4 yards of crack. That's all you need.
And as per usual, Carson comes over to the sidelines, right in the face of his OC/head coach, Justin Frisky.
It's certainly not a fancy play, but they executed extremely well. They keep getting 3-4 yards at a crack. I'd be really content with Happy running down clock and trying to grind out some first downs and wearing that defense down even more.
It's Hansen again. Look at this, leaning forward, up and over the first down marker to the 35. It may be, Nelly, this kid on this drive the rest of the way.
You wouldn't be surprised. Again, a guy that's unselfish and put into position as a quarterback because of injuries throughout the course of the year. You've had to work with him and ride him the entire year. They went tight end wing on the strong side of the offensive formation. The defensive line shifts. A great job by the offensive guard sealing down and your tackle kicking out, creating the gap for him to run through, and Hansen again producing one more time today.
Rice Lake got to start thinking about burning some of these timeouts. They have 2 remaining. Pewaukee, 1st and 10 at the 37. Hansen again. This time he goes down. Rice Lake starting to zero in on the Pewaukee quarterback, knowing he's just going to continue to call his own number.
Yeah, they're content with that. They burned 1 timeout. You got 3:20 left here. Now, hey, fellas, sustained blocks, ball security. We've seen the ball on the ground a ton today, but ball security, and you have to make sure, be smart with things. Try and stay in bound, make them burn that extra timeout. But understand that position where we're in control of this game. It's 8-6 for crying out loud. Like, you're still in a heck of a ball game, right? But you have an opportunity to finish, and that's what this is about. When you get to this level, it's about finishing. And when you're able to do that as a team, as a collective group together, those are the fun times and the memories that you will have forever. And this is a chance for them to have one for the ages for the Pewaukee Pirates.
First ever trip to state. Trying to make it count and finish the postseason with an exclamation point. It's not a shutout, but the storyline will be written. The headline will be, again, the defense by Pewaukee. And Mike Lecker, who's 78 years old, 6 shutouts during the season, 3 in the playoffs in levels 1 through 3. All eyes on the offense right now. 2nd and 11. It is Hansen again. And he gets up. Timeout, Rice Lake. Their 3rd and final burn.
Timeout, Rice Lake.
It'll be a 3rd down coming up from the 32. Call it 3rd and 5. And now it's Dan Hill's turn to get his defense to figure out a stop here.
Trying to run to the left side again. Really good job defensively in pursuit. 1 lead blocker that time instead of the 2 or 3 that we've seen before. But again, they like running off that left-hand side. They've found a mismatch through there. Now it's a matter of finishing. 5 yards when you stand there and you look at it isn't very long. When you have to earn it on the ground, that's a mile. If they can convert this, get to the first down, then now you're taking a look at Rice Lake really just trying to convert or challenge guys with turnovers. But you can just kind of sense this has been a stalemate back and forth this entire second half. You can see the score having nothing since the first quarter, 8-6, right? It's just been kind of back and forth here this second half. And does Rice Lake have one more opportunistic play in them? We'll find out.
Warriors out of timeouts. Pewaukee staring down a 3rd and 5 from the 32. Hansen again. Pushing the pile. Hansen, final lean, got the first down. This kid, how about it on this drive? 18th carry, 70 yards on the ground now for Carson Hansen.
Great second effort. They got him stopped. He's wrapped up, keeps the legs churning, and just powers through those tackles and launches forward for the first down. That's a great individual effort. First, getting up past the line of scrimmage. Nice job sealing off by the offensive line, but that second individual effort to pop out of that tackle and get the first and secure that for the Pirates, that was huge. He's come up big all day. Carson Hansen has been tremendous for Pewaukee today.
And nothing but security with that pigskin on this drive. Scoops it up there. Gets all the attention of the Warriors to the 26-yard line. Maybe a yard on the carry, but the clock continues to run. Rice Lake cannot stop it.
And again, this 40 seconds on this play call now too. That's a little bit different than we've had the last couple of years, but 40 seconds on the play clock, you can really burn a lot of time off here, especially with no timeouts.
Hey, coach, help me out here. Got my shoulder strap here hanging out. I mean, this kid's been a Warrior. And again, when they lost their two quarterbacks during the season, one at the beginning, one during it. Carson Hansen, he jumped at the chance to play quarterback. He said, I got your back, coach. You tell me what to run, I'll execute it. What a story it's been for Pewaukee to not only get them to state, but now that kid is engineering what may be a state championship, the first ever at Pewaukee High School.
Right. Pewaukee burns their last time out again. Just communication, make sure everybody's on the same page. You don't want to have any mishaps as the clock winds down under 2 minutes now. Again, smart decision on coach's part to call a timeout, calm everybody down. Here's the plan, right? We still need to probably grind out a couple more plays here. If we can get the first, it's sealed and it's done. If you can't get the first down, you're going to give a little bit of time left. But overall, fellas, let's finish. You worked this hard for this long. Let's finish this thing in game 14 of the season.
Justin Frisky told us earlier this week, you know what? We're not supposed to win this football game. Everyone is going to say Rice Lake is going to win the football game. But we're here. And just the fact that we will be at Camp Randall means we have a chance to do what we do well and put that on display.
Yeah, well, who decides if you're supposed to win or not, right? Both teams have earned their way here, and it's about what those kids believe and what you can get them to believe.
And look at Hansen. Is he going to finish this off with a touchdown? Yes! Carson Hansen, the exclamation point for the Pirates. It puts them up by 8. Maybe Rice Lake said, we'll let you score the touchdown. You're going to have to earn it here. They will Nelly with the extra point, but Carson Hansen, for the moment, gives Pewaukee the lead at 14-6.
This is a quarterback lead right up the middle, and here, as you see to the left, looks like the defender, Bob, just like you said, kind of lets him go and score, trying to preserve as much time. Huge extra point, up and through. That makes it a 9-point game, not an 8-point game, so a touchdown and 2-point conversion could have helped Rice Lake. Now that you got 9 points, that's a double score. Makes it really, really hard with no timeouts in the minute 40 left. But holy cow, Carson Hansen, big time all around today, offense, defense, everything.
Scott Nelson, after Rice Lake turned it over on downs at the 4:45 mark, about 3 minutes ago, it was all Carson Hansen. He gained all 47 yards, calling his own number, rushing the football, picking up first downs along the way.
Well, they put it on the shoulders of that offensive line. Fellas, you got to dig deep. You got to be gritty. You got to grind things out against Rice Lake's defensive line. And they did that. They opened up some gaps. They got to the outside edge. You had guys pulling. You had other running backs leading the way. He's the guy that gets to carry the football, but a lot of hard, dirty work was done down in the trenches. And in order to have successful championship-style teams, you have to have guys that are willing to do those things, and Pewaukee does. Really fun to watch these two teams compete today.
Detloff tees it up. Rice Lake will get the football, but running out of time here in their bid to gain their 3rd state championship. They won it back in '79 and again with the Kenny Bednarik team from the Olympics in 2017. This one fielded at the 6. And Nolan goes down at the 25-yard line. So 1:35 to go and a 9-point hole. Super difficult task to be sure.
Yeah, Rice Lake is going to have to get big chunks of yards, right? They're going to have to get to the outside edge. So defensively, you talk to your corners. Make sure you hold them in bounds. You don't mind if you give up 7, 8, 10-yard pass plays, but keep them in bounds. Making sure your safeties are up over the top. They're deep as the deepest guy, and they're wide as the widest guys. And then, again, try and get some pressure. You have 3 down linemen. Try and maybe get a linebacker or 2 in the mix if you can get some pressure to your quarterback.
Fenske, snap. Straight up the middle, now veers off to the sidelines, gets out of bounds at the 35-yard line, stops the clock.
Heads up play. Pewaukee going man coverage across the board. A little bit risky there. If you're able to protect up front, one guy breaks down, you can find him in the back end. But Pewaukee's pretty comfortable with that. They're just trying to contain Fenske right now, and he got out for a little bit there, but it's winding some clock. Just try and keep him in bounds this time.
1st and 10, 35. Crossfield, intercepted! Picked off by Nate Schrader. And as someone who also calls football games in the state of Wisconsin, there's your dagger.
Right. Great read on Schrader's part. Long throw for your quarterback and Fenske from the far side hash all the way across the field. And number 3, big-time play for Nathan Schrader. Reads it the whole way, jumps in front, great angle underneath the wide receiver. And he puts this thing away. Great finish to a really good ball game.
And how much fun is this when the offense can go out there.
Good old victory formation.
Yep. These are the best snaps for a kid wearing number 34 as the quarterback of this Pewaukee football team. Boy, did he look comfortable running this offense. The defense made plays all morning long. And Justin Friske, he said earlier this week, maybe the stars are aligning. Their hoops team won a state championship. The baseball team went to state. A lot of these kids play those sports as well. It's a group that has been together and so good together since 8th grade. And now the football team joins the championship party.
What a fun way to put a capper on your career for those seniors. Certainly some great efforts all around. Rice Lake had some guys that I wouldn't imagine it would be too long before we might see them back here again. But an outstanding performance by both squads. And again, a great finish with as well as Pewaukee played. It's a great finish, getting that interception to seal the deal.
This is Zane Farah. Remember, he broke his collarbone mid-season. They want him to take the final snap.
Pretty cool.
Don't think he will.
Has to, yeah.
But he's on the field to celebrate the Division III state championship for the first time in school history. It is the Pewaukee Pirates.
Tough one for Rice Lake. Played gritty, played really tough football. Just ran into a Pewaukee Pirate team that was able to sustain your blow of a touchdown in the first half and gave you nothing in the second half. You had to earn everything that you had, and you just didn't have an answer for a couple of those things. Hard to overcome those turnovers. Pewaukee came out, played a really clean second half, and congratulations to them. But here we go with Rice Lake, another solid program, another solid performance here at state.
Handshakes from both sides. What a battle this was in Division III, and Pewaukee will take home the gold trophy, put it in that trophy case with the rest of them. 15-6 the final here in D3.
Hello.
Camp Randall. Pewaukee wins the Division III state championship 15-6. Carson Hansen was the quarterback of this offense. Carson, when coach came to you and said, we need somebody to play quarterback, what did you say?
Yeah, no, they kind of came up to me. They're like, do you have any interest in playing quarterback? And I was like, sure, why not? I mean, I'm a baseball player. I can kind of throw and I can run, so that was a good opportunity.
Yeah, you took advantage of that opportunity. How about your defense, though? You play on that side of the football. It was super stingy today again.
Yes, sir. Our defense is very senior dominated, and we're one of the tightest groups you'll ever meet. We're all best friends, and we all believe in each other, and we got the job done.
And taught, of course, by your defensive coordinator, longtime defensive coordinator, Mike Lecker. What does he mean to that defensive unit?
Yes, sir. We call him a genius all the time. I mean, he makes the right play calls every time, and we have all the trust in the world in him, and we just listen to him and get the job done.
Carson, you got it done today. Go celebrate with your teammates. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Carson Hansen. Got it, Andrew. And he'll be one of the guys. There he is, number 34. Didn't have a quarterback's number, but he played a solid game at quarterback, icing it down the stretch there when they needed to secure the football, run clock, and Justin Frisky hoisted high. Pewaukee, the state champs in Division III in 2021.
Pretty cool to see that excitement. Proud coach of his players, certainly, and guys that worked today, and they had to work to earn this one, and that makes it even that much more special.
Nelly, our play of the game, it's brought to you by Rural Mutual. Premiums paid here, stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. This really was a key, because without the conversion here, who knows what happens. But Carson Hansen on the final push there got the first down again, secured the football, secured the lead, secured the victory in the state championship.
The commitment to never say die. You're never down until your leg hits the ground, and he wasn't coming down. He was doing all that he can for his teammates, and he led Pewaukee here to the state championship and helped them win this one today, and that's what you got to do. You got to rely on the guys that got you here, and he was number one on the list.
Congratulations to Mike Lecker, Justin Frisky, and all the Pirates. They win at 15-6. That's Division III. Division II is next here on Bally Sports Wisconsin. Jay Wilson and Bill Brophy on the call.